Welcome back to Sonic Mania, and we are on Little Planet.
Jesse, shut up. The music's
Yay,
playing.
Sonic CD!
The music's playing.
Yeah.
Don't talk.
This is pretty good, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh!
As someone whose favorite Sonic soundtrack is Sonic CD, these Stardust Speedway remixes are beautiful.
There we
Again
go.
with the kissing.
As far as I'm concerned, they literally could have just left in the Stardust Speedway music unchanged, and I would have been happy.
Honestly,
That's
these are better than the original tracks, to be honest. All of them.
Here's my take. I found Sonic CD, both soundtracks, pretty forgettable. This remix, probably my favorite.
Oh yeah, this and Act. I think out of all the remix tracks, these are my for both acts of Stardust Speedway. They're my favorite remixes of the game. They are so good.
Act
I
two,
really,
Act
I
two,
really
not
liked.
So,
Oh, go ahead.
oh, sorry. Act 2, not so much, but this. Ooh.
Oh, I love that.
Two-
I have a thing for jazz and trumpets, so I have a bit of a bias for Act 2. But oh my gosh, and also what T-Lopes does with Metallic Madness later. Oh, that's so good too. I'm not gonna say right now though.
Spoilers. Jeez.
I can't remember if this zone has already come and gone because I don't remember the level order, but the remix in Act 2 of Flying Battery is
Yes.
amazing.
Oh yeah.
Same. That's one of
okay.
my favorite remixes in the game.
Oh, but the next zone has...
That guitar made waiting for the time to run out on glitches bearable.
The next zone, though, has pretty great remixes.
Yeah, the next zone is
in order?
basically one-for-one remasters of their original tracks, but that's a-okay with me because if T-Lopes messed with those tracks one bit, I would be pissed off. just as a fan of that stage.
Yeah,
Can I just mention how I love this Donkey Kong Country thing with the launchers here? That it's so great, and it's unfortunate that I don't think it's quite in a level just enough.
Okay,
AKA.
so we mentioned
It's
okay.
all over. It's all over the second act. So
We actually,
no.
hey Chris, I actually mentioned this in the Sonic CD commentary. One thing I was really hoping with the CD stages they would bring back is that they would keep the same general aesthetic, but have like Sonic 3 on Knuckles level design philosophy, and that's exactly what this is, and it makes me so happy. It's not completely whacked out level design.
I mean,
It
it's still
still
the one...
has-
It still
has remnants of that though.
It's
it
still the
has
one time...
it still has remnants of it, but it's not like annoying like it was in the original Stardust Speedway.
But it's still the one time Sonic fans will turn a blind eye to automation.
Yeah, that's all.
You know, you brought up the comparison to Donkey Kong Country. And, you know, when I'm looking at like the launching springers with this green aesthetic, I get a vibe of Sticker Brush, Bramble Blast from Donkey Kong Country 2.
The first name was correct too.
Well, yeah, but that's more associated with the track for that stage rather than the name of the actual stage.
Yeah, I can definitely see that connection now. Yeah.
So this boss is a thing.
Yeah. Honestly,
This
it's
is
just...
one of the more middle of the road bosses.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like...
it's a fine boss, but it's not one of the more memorable ones. But I'll take this over most of Sonic 3's bosses any day. Her.
Has
Well,
there been like any other classic Sonic games where like badniks, where the bosses are just like oversized badniks?
Honestly, I just call it the Yoshi's
Sonic
Island
Colors
approach.
Motobugs.
Well, yeah, but those weren't
That's
really
not a-
those weren't.
It's not a boss.
If you're
necessarily
talking
bosses.
classic game bosses, I don't think so.
Nah, this is the first time they used the Yoshi's Island approach. And yes,
And
that
I
is
don't think
why.
they ever do it again.
No, they do it one more time.
I love how they do this transition, like they actually do the time travel thing.
Yeah, that is pretty neat.
There's a lot of cool nods to CD within the CD levels. Like, I think some of the enemies do it, but specifically Metal Sonic's jump sound effect is the same one that Sonic had in CD.
Yeah. If they had that jump sound effect as the jump sound effect in this game, that would annoy the crap out of me because I hate that sound effect. But
I
that's just
like
me.
it, but I don't
Takes
pay much
getting
mind
used
to the
to.
jumping sound effects.
This jumping sound effect is easier on the ears. Oh man.
I'm not sure if it's this stage, if it's this act or the previous act, but I like how there's a constellation of Sonic's face in the sky.
There, I saw a Spartan helmet.
Yeah. I will run by Sonic's face in the sky, very quickly, but if you catch it, you'll see it. God dang it!
Not
There's a
annoying at
couple
all,
different
huh?
things in the sky.
No, it's not. That was just me screwing up. I'm going the opposite direction I want to go.
I've never had that much trouble with those things.
They can catch you off guard.
It's just the fact that it's like you have to attack them when they're facing the opposite way. Because
I'm not even talking about the enemies. I mean the launchers.
Yeah. Oh.
Right.
The enemies I just jump over because I don't care enough. But
They're not.
Points, man.
They're not really worth picking a fight with.
and they're cool to rack up, but you can rack up plenty of them just by playing the game a bunch of times.
Look, Jesse, I know the music in this game is great, but are you really just resorting to singing along to the music?
This is one of the things we're supposed to not do in LPs.
I don't care. I don't care. It's too good.
Well,
You
to be
soiled
fair,
it.
we're
Soiled
already
it.
breaking another rule. We're not supposed to.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you. It's just I thought you guys were at least a semi-professional commentary group.
Yeah, we're not.
I mean, that's
We're
not true, but
You serious?
Thanks for having.
Thank you for what? Standing there?
well, you know what, Mr. Analyst guy, I appreciate the confidence.
it's wrong, but it's nice to have.
I was gonna say something, but I forgot. Oh, right. We're already breaking a rule. Technically, you're not supposed to let's play a game until it's been out for at least 3 months.
I don't
What?
even know if that's really an LP rule, but more a rule that specific people have.
Yeah, who said
in-
that?
I mean, if that's a rule of a Let's Play, then people have been breaking that rule for years.
Yeah, that's a rule that means nothing anymore.
Okay,
Yeah.
were
They should all be arrested.
those slingshot things at the very end of the pathways in the original? Because I don't think they were.
No.
I don't think so.
Uh,
no.
I don't think so. They remind me of Sonic Rush, though.
I was gonna say.
That rocket that you used earlier kind of reminded me of DS Sonic Colors for some reason.
Yeah. Also, the original track didn't have trumpets. This has a trumpet solo. Nice touch, T-Lopes.
Trumpets are always good, as I learned from Pokemon Gen 3.
You know, that's surprising given that CD soundtrack was very poppy and jazzy already.
Gotta make the most use out of that CD sound, man.
Alright, it's time for a
Okay.
pretty mediocre Metal
So-
Sonic encounter.
Chris and I.
This is a really good boss.
Oh yeah, this is one of the best bosses in the game. It's miles better than the original boss fight for sure.
That's not saying much.
I still like the original because it is an actual full-on race, but this is an actual fight.
Yeah. With elements
I
of
still-
a race in it.
I could say this is my favorite boss in the game, but I'm biased considering that Metal Sonic is one of my favorite characters in the
And
franchise.
the kick-ass boss music too.
Oh, hell yeah.
This is one of the best callbacks in the entire game.
I'm going to get flack for this, but Sonic 4 still has the best Metal Sonic battle.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Sonic 4 has a pretty solid
No,
Metal Sonic fight.
I probably need to get this out of the way early enough in the commentary, so I might get flack for this too. I know a lot of people might disagree with me, but I think over time people will slowly agree with me. This is my new favorite Sonic soundtrack. This game.
I don't even think it'll take time. I've seen plenty of
No.
other people say that.
Yeah.
I think
I don't agree,
I
but
do
I don't
think
hate.
part of it is, you know, the stages that they brought back just so happened to be some of the best tracks from the original games too. Or it featured some of the best tracks, but hey, it's still, you know, there's still the original tracks, just better. Plus the new tracks are awesome in their own right.
And I still don't know where I'm going to put this soundtrack because I need to listen to it on its own.
I'll listen through the whole soundtrack at work last week, and I can say with confidence it's my new favorite Sonic soundtrack.
I will say for sure it is very good though.
It's a very good soundtrack. but it's still not in my top 5.
It's definitely my new favorite 2D Sonic soundtrack, but I still prefer Japanese CD and Sonic Adventure over this. Slightly, though.
I'm kind of with Chris on the CD soundtracks being forgettable.
Yay.
Sorry,
I'll
Sonic.
just have
And
to
I'll forever
respectfully
stand by
disagree.
my forgettable doesn't mean bad.
Is the only one who still hasn't played Mania because I had to wait for the PC release.
Ha.
I don't quite understand
Chase.
the whole
Ticket.
moving.
I have a counter argument to Chase.
I have a
You're
counter
right.
argument to Chase as well.
You're right. Forgettable doesn't mean bad, but sometimes it can be worse.
And you're right. You're right. Forgettable doesn't mean bad, but if it's forgettable, then that means it doesn't stick. I like things that stick.
I'd
Speaking
say
of forgettable, forget my point because Jesse just showed how you hit Metal Sonic and stuff without getting blasted into the wall. So
That's
my
one of the
example.
instances. Sorry, go ahead.
My example for memorable being bad will always be Terminator on NES. I can
But that's
recall that
Hud's
music.
game.
I can recall that music perfectly, and it is terrible.
That boss is one of the few instances where the drop dash really comes in handy outside of just pure speed running.
Yeah.
And
you
just as like
and you really
one
miss it in
last-
other characters.
just as like one last quick question related to that boss fight. How long did it take you guys to figure out that you could spin dash into the Game Gear Silver Sonic stuff immediately hit Metal Sonic?
10 seconds.
Not too long.
I did it by accident and found out.
On my first playthrough, I thought I had to jump into them and to bounce into Metal Sonic when he jumped. I only found that out. I think I did it through like by accident while playing. I just randomly did it, or I saw somebody else do it in a playthrough on YouTube.
I just did it. I found out randomly by spin dashing across within the first couple seconds of the fight, and I hit the thing and it hit him.
Same.